Hey, Lyla, how's your Monday going?
It is going really good so far. I'm traveling this week. We've got a couple of acquisitions that we are selling. So that could be another presentation all in itself. So I'm up in Virginia this week, closing those out. So yeah, it's been an exciting Monday so far.
That's good. That's good. How come we do know about these ones, Lyla? We need to buy these deals too.
Not everything is what we want to bring into our XSITE world.
It's all good. It's all good.
I see an advertisement behind you there on your screen. So looks like there's a conference coming up, huh?
Yeah, I think he's frozen, but that's the one that Julius is speaking at in June with Dan Hanford's company.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we do have a conference.
Then he's borrowing his neighbor's internet again today, so it's frozen. So that's what it is.
Hey, Lyla. How are you, Lyla?
Hello, Julius. I'm wonderful. How are you?
Quite fantastic. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
I love the hat.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yes, very stylish.
We're going to give folks about maybe 2 more minutes or so to join us before we get started. So I appreciate everybody joining us so far. And please feel free to drop your name and information in the chat so that we can know where you're visiting us from. It'll be awesome for us to get to know each other. I see some new names and some old friends, and we look forward to getting to chat with you. So just feel free to drop your name and where you're visiting us from. I'm Julius Honey from Baltimore, Maryland. If you want to drop some additional information also, that's completely okay. Thank you, John from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Derek, thank you. Where you from, Derek?
Chairman himself.
Hey, Tenny, what's up, man?
Looking good, man. Looking good. I love that hat.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Lyla from Columbia, South Carolina. Awesome.
We're hitting all over the map. This is great. I probably didn't have to put that I was from Columbia, South Carolina with the accent. It probably gave it away. So you're all going to have to bear with me. Tenny's
that's awesome.
But, he hasn't adapted to our new Southern twang yet.
That is awesome. Evan, thank you. Jean, thank you. Michael, Sharon, John, really appreciate you. Kyle, Chilando, welcome. And thank you for joining us. Charles, Aman, wow, from LA. Yeah, we've got everybody from from everywhere here. And Christian.
Today.
What did you say?
I said coast to coast today.
Coast to coast. That's actually what we've been experiencing on our meetup so far. It's been fantastic. Great. So let's just I think some people are still joining us. I'm gonna give just 1 more minute. I appreciate your patience, everybody. And then I'll do a quick introduction to our wonderful Lyla. And I really cannot wait for you to listen to Lyla today. She's gonna be dropping some fantastic gems on us. And I'm sure you will be thankful that you joined us today. Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate you all. 1 more minute. Awesome. I think we could get started now. Or don't you think?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic, fantastic. So great. Well, everybody, welcome. I'm Dr. Julius Oni, CEO and co-founder at XSITE Capital. And on behalf of my co-host today, Mr. Leslie Awesome, our co-founder and director of operations, and Mr. Tenny Tolofari, our co-founder and director of acquisitions, I welcome you to the exciting world of multifamily meetup provided to you by XSITE Capital Investments. We really take a lot of pride in this meetup and the opportunity that it gives us to interact with our community of investors and our extended community, and to help to grow your mind and to grow your wealth. Today in particular, I am very, very excited and extremely honored to introduce Ms. Lyla Scott as our guest speaker tonight. Lyla is especially special to XSITE Capital because she is, as far as I'm concerned, a member of the family. Lyla is the regional vice president at First Communities, which is the property management company that we've partnered with on the vast majority of our acquisitions so far. Lyla is so special to us at XSITE Capital that one of the first criteria for me getting excited about a deal is Lyla excited, you know? Because if Lyla is excited about a deal, then you can be sure that there's something to be looked at, you know, something to be excited about with that deal. And once Lyla is excited, then we could start talking about all the other metrics, you know, including, you know, the median household income, the occupancy of the property, all the, you know, the cap rates in the market, you know, the makeup of the employers in the market, all the other metrics that, you know, the rent growth projections and all those good things. We can start talking about that once we've gotten Lyla's approval. And as we move along, even before underwriting cases, we actually underwriting these properties, we make sure we double check with Lyla and a team to make sure that the assumptions that we are underwriting with are not too conservative or too aggressive, that they're just spot on. And guess what? It's been a great bet for us, because I'll just give you an example. A deal that we bought just last April at $12.5 million. Just recently, we got an offer for close to $20 million on the same property, or a broker opinion of value for just about that much on the property. And this is a deal that was bought just only about a year ago. Not just did Lyla and her team increase the value on this particular property, they also got a beautification award. So they just don't care about making sure that they increase the value of your property. They treat this property almost like it's their own. And I am so excited. Typically, I'll do the typical talk about the accolades of the person who is speaking on our platform. But in this particular case, Lyla is like it's just a part of the family. And I'm so super proud to have you speak with us today. And we cannot wait for you to share everything you have to share. So please, Lyla, take it away. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Julius. Wow, that was very heartfelt. And thank you for not just reading off my bio. Everybody saw that in the meeting, you know, when we were getting everyone excited about this month's meetup. So thank you for that. And thank you for that wonderful, warm introduction. And truly, you guys are family to me as well. And like Julius said, these deals, we treat them like they're our own. I treat the finances and the checkbook of the property as if it was my own checkbook that I am managing myself. And, you know, I truly take pride in teaching my team to do the same thing. And because of that, it shows throughout the entire team. You can really tell in the assets as well. And so it's very, very exciting times. I do have a little slide presentation that will kind of keep us on track a little bit today, but I want this to be an open forum. So even though there is going to be reserved time at the end for questions and answers and commentary, if you have a question along the way, please type it in the chat box. We will definitely, you know, treat this as an open forum. I like to be comfortable. I feel that, you know, when we have these Zoom meetings, thankfully we're able to get back in person and I can host some live events and stuff again. But when we have them like this is a way for us to connect from coast to coast. And it's just like we're sitting in each other's living room this evening, talking, you know, as old friends. So, you know, if you have a drink or, you know, a cocktail or dinner while you're, you know, meeting with us, please do so. We want you to enjoy it, you know, be part of our conversation. So Braden was so great to make me co-host. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we will get started. Let's see here, make sure that this, all right, I believe that is just the slide presentation and not the PDF format presentation. Does it look right, Braden?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, awesome, perfect. Well, again, thank you all so much. As Julius said, I'm Lyla Scott. I am a regional vice president for First Communities Management. I've been in the industry for over 20 years. I know I started when I was 5. Good skincare products, guys, good skincare products. But no, seriously, I love what I do. This is my passion. It is my career. It's my life, but I absolutely love it. I am excited every morning when I wake up to see what is going to be new in the wonderful world of multifamily. And so because of that, Brendan, are you still running? Okay, so people are still joining us. So I just want to
ma'am. I'm keeping an eye on it.
All right, good. All right, so what is our role as your property management team in acquisition? So that's going to be our focus today. You know, the acquisition piece of your asset. When you're starting to scratch the surface and really look at a deal, what is it about it? Yes, like Julius said, call, you know, and do I get excited about it? So there are some that I say, no, we need to run. And, you know, thankfully, Tenny has learned when if I say run, we look the other way, we don't turn back. But there are times where you definitely want to, you know, dig a little deeper. And is this an acquisition? Is this an asset that you truly want to invest your funds in? And so I'm going to help you through some of the background information and what it looks like, especially for those of you on the call who are looking to get into property management and multifamily investing. This will give you kind of a little peek behind the curtain so that you can see what all goes into it before someone just decides, oh, let's go buy this $30 million asset. Well, what goes into it before then? So, of course, before we truly get started, I do have to put a little disclaimer out there. The information in this presentation is the practice and opinion of myself and does not represent all management companies, all ownership groups. This is truly based off of my experience in the industry and what I've learned in the past 17 years with First Communities and overall in my 21 and a half years in the industry. So please do not take this as, you can take what Lyla said to the bank. Hopefully a lot of it is information that you'll learn and be able to, you know, gather from and take away some good notes, but please do your own research as well. I am by no means, you know, the end all be all expert. I love what I do, but there are many, many opinions into what goes into acquisitions. All right, now that we've got the fine print out of the way, little just outline of what we're going to talk about today. We're going to go over, of course, what an overview of your property management does for you during pre-acquisition, during the actual acquisition, and post-acquisition. And so, like I said, I'm with First Communities Management. We are purely a third-party operator. We were founded in 1978. And when I say third-party, that means we don't own any of our assets. So we are strictly just the management for our clients. We are never competing against our clients. So if a client buys a deal, Another one of our clients might buy one right next door to it, but First Communities is not going to buy that one next door to it because we don't own our assets. We strictly work for you as the client. We manage over 50,000 units, primarily in the Southeast, but we will go just about anywhere that our clients want to go. What we offer for you is, of course, expert staff that manages all levels of the portfolio sizes. And we support operations from daily activity to groundbreaking construction to value add capital project management. And then again, I'm the regional vice president. I've got 20 plus years in the industry. I've been with First Communities for 17 of those years. So big question in the room. What is the role of your property management for an investor, an investment group, a firm, or even a potential outright buyer? So what does that property manager do for you? Well, the answer is pretty simple. It's how, involved do you want them to be? You're the ones calling the shots. So at the end of the day, our role is exactly what you want it to be. I'll give you some ideas of what we do. For some of our clients throughout this presentation. You can use your property management group to do all of those things, those items, or none at all. Sometimes we get a deal presented to us and they're like, okay, look, we're closing in 30 days. We've done all this background stuff and this is what it is. That's a little scary to me. I like being brought in on the forefront because I like to get excited about a deal. I want to get you excited about it as well. So of course, my recommendation is that you involve us from the beginning. Involve your property management group from the beginning. First mention of an asset. It's brought to you by a broker or a friend or a colleague in the business. They're like, hey, look at this deal. What do you think about it? Do you want to, take a stab at it? To do this, I say, bring us in because there's lots of information that we can provide you along the way when you're just scratching the surface before you're even ready to put an offer on the table. Of course, to do this, you'll want to vet your property management group first before you get into that. I know I spent, a year or better talking with Tenny and the XSITE group before we actually got involved together in our first acquisition. And that's what it takes. You want to build that relationship. You want to build that trust with that property management group because like Julius said, we are like family and we're going to be honest with each other. Hopefully you're going to be honest with your property management group and we're going to be honest back with you. And that's what it takes. We both have skin in the game. And so to do that, you can't just pick someone out of a hat or say, hey, in 30 days, I want to have you be, over my portfolio. That does happen. But when you're truly looking to invest millions and millions of your hard-earned money into something, don't you want to know that you're trusting the person that you're giving control of that money to? I surely do. So pre-acquisition, what does that mean? So during the pre-acquisition phase, we review market analysis. Is it new construction versus stabilized assets? And we review your underwriting with you. So we'll go a little more in detail on these. Of course, your market analysis is a detailed overview of your asset market. We do this through various means of reporting. We prefer to use Yardi Matrix and CoStar reporting. Those are not the only two platforms out there, but after years of using and vetting several of them, these are two of my favorites. They have the most accurate, up-to-date numbers and metrics as far as the market analysis, sale history of the asset, just all the information that you need. You can get as granular into this process as you like, or you can just do an overview. We typically start with an overview. Tenny, send me an address and say, hey, what do you think of this deal? The first thing I do is I go and pull my Yardi Matrix report, my CoStar reports, so that I can truly drill down. Even if it's an asset that's in my backyard in Columbia, South Carolina, I'm still going to pull those reports because I want to know what the numbers mean. We're numbers people. It makes sense, right? That's our money. So that's what we're doing. Of course, you want to visit the site. So you're not always able to maybe fly from California or Maryland down to, Florida to see a site. Well, like I said, we span the Southeast primarily, but we go anywhere our clients go. So we've got properties as far west as Arizona and as far north as Maine. So we pretty much have folks within an hour or two drive of pretty much anything that you're going to be looking for, especially in the Southeast. Call us up. Let us drive that asset for you. What does it truly look like? again, even if it's one in my backyard in Columbia that I'm very familiar with the market, I'm still going to go put my own eyes on it. I'm going to drive through. I'm going to look at the condition of the asset. How well has it been maintained on the exterior? What do the roofs look like? What do the parking lots look like? Can I go in and just take a tour? Do a secret shop? You know, they don't know who you are in the beginning, and that's scratching the surface. That's what you really want to do. Those big, especially the roofs and the parking and, you know, building foundation, those kind of things you can see when you just drive through the asset. Those are your big capital dollars. And so you're looking at a deal and you know that you're only going to have about $250,000 to $500,000 in reserve for capital. And we go in and we see that, you know, this is 25 buildings and every building needs a new roof and the pool is sunken in and there's big potholes in the asphalt and curbing broken up around the property. We just shot that $500,000 out the window. So again, visit those assets so that you know when you're putting those numbers together, does it make sense? And of course, you know, had to put my little criminal up there. We will look at the crime stats in an area as well. Google is your friend. Always, always, always research the asset, the neighborhood around the asset that you're looking at. Plug that address in and just say crime reports. Now we use different various reporting companies that will give us some more granular detail on that we can provide you as well. But when you're just scratching the surface, these are some of the things that you can do on your own before you even reach out to your property management group. Some of these things, you may see that, you know, there's 25 sex offenders that live at that property. You're going to want to probably run the other way. At least I'm going to advise you to run the other way. So that's kind of a little bit about our market analysis and what we do from the beginning there during the pre-acquisition phase. Next is it a stabilized asset or is it new construction? Or is it a little bit of both? Maybe you're looking at a stabilized asset and there's 4 new planned developments going in around it that you don't know anything about. That again is where our reporting comes in, our knowledge of the market. We reach out to our supplier partners with CoStar and apartments.com and ALN because they know what's on the horizon before groundbreaking ever happens. So again, if you're planning on buying a stabilized asset and it's, you know, maybe it's a newer property, you don't have to go in and do a value add project. You're just wanting to organically increase rents and hold it for 5 years. Well, that's great. Unless there's 4 new construction deals going in within 2 blocks of you all the way around, every one of them is going to be fighting for those leases as well. They're going to be putting concessions in, and then all of a sudden you just blew your underwriting. So again, knowing that market, knowing where those, you know, new construction deals are coming in play. If you're looking to develop assets, we work with developers every day. I actually have a team of folks this evening that are attending a town hall meeting in one of the little submarkets outside of Columbia because they've got to get it passed through city council to rezone the property so they can build it. It's an excellent location. The little town is pushing back because they think it's going to cause a traffic nightmare. So we're having to provide statistics and reporting and why we should support this asset being built in our backyard. And so we've got teams that will do that for you as well on the new construction side. Are there zoning realignments going on? So even with a stabilized asset or new construction asset, there are constantly lines moving. You know, every 10 years we get a realignment done based off of migration and movement and, you know, growth of people in the area. So you take all those things into consideration as well when you're looking at that initial underwriting and pre-acquisition phase. All right, let's see here. And then your underwriting. So this is the biggest chunk out of what I would consider the pre-acquisition phase. Here's where you have to decide, is this going to be a 3-year hold, a 5-year hold, or a 10+ year hold? That's going to determine how you write your underwrite, how you plan out your underwriting. You're, you know, checking that income. So, you know, there's going to be things that you're going to plan for differently for a 5-year hold versus a 10+ year hold. You know, there might, you want to leave a little meat on the bone so that the next buyer coming in 5 years still has that value add piece that they can add to it. They feel like they've got some value to still add to that asset. So you don't want to go in and knock everything out, but you want to add some pieces to it that make it attractive. So when that 5-year term comes up, they can see what little bit, you've done along the way, and then what's still left on there. If this is a forever hold, a 10+ year hold, and I know that doesn't seem like forever, but in the world of multifamily, 10+ years is typically forever. So, for that, you're looking at, okay, how do we want to really go about strategically planning to do different amenity upgrades, interior upgrades? Maybe you go with higher end finishes. You go in and do a complete overhaul of all the HVAC systems at one time because you're going to hold them for 10 years and you want that capital money spent up front so that you can make that return on that investment for your investors over years 3 through 10+. One big thing with that is truly looking at that income piece. Where can you add to the income? Your best friend during an acquisition is going to be the seller's T12. Look at that T12, drill down. What does their spending habits look like? Your property manager can provide you feedback on any market with detailed information. You're going to be looking at the same dollar figures pretty much so day in and day out for advertising, administration, payroll. We did see an increase in payroll over the last couple of years because of the shift, but typically your payroll numbers all stay the same. Where you save in there is with your expenses and turnover cost, and how much is going to be a value add piece versus coming out of your regular operating budget. So what's going to come out of operating versus what's going to come out of capital. So truly look at that and drill down. Like I said, we know the average cost in those markets, so we can pretty much plug those numbers in. And I remember back in the beginning, several of our first few underwritings that we did together, we were making all kinds of adjustments. And now I get them from Tenny and them, and I'm like, wow, okay, where can I change anything? They're making me really sharpen my pencils now. So there's, those line by line items. Look at that T12 as well, because maybe the current owner isn't managing the asset to its full capacity or capability. Maybe they just they were occupancy driven. So they kept the property 98, 99% occupied, and they were only doing $15 a year increases on rental rates. We're getting 15 to 24% lease over lease increases right now. So there's all those factors to take into play when you're really looking at that underwriting. And I know I make Leslie's, ears perk when he comes to me and I'm like, we're budgeting for maybe a 5 to 7 year or 5 to 7% increase on rents. And I'm like, this one, we can really write it for 15. They are really under market here. And he's like, what? That's music to my ears. Of course it's music to your ears, but I'm not going to say it if I truly cannot back it up. I'm not just going to pretend that those numbers can just be pulled out of thin air. And that's where you build that trust with your property management company and with your property manager, because by doing so, I've got just as much skin in the game, because if I tell you something and then I can't achieve it, I can guarantee you're giving me my 30-day notice and saying, bye-bye, Lyla, and I'm going to find someone else. So, we've got just as much trust in each other with it that we've got to communicate those things. Same basis. I don't want you underwriting something for a 20% year over year increase in that first year. And then you come to me and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is how you underwrote it. And now we're going to the bank and I'm looking at the market detail and I'm like, we're going to be lucky to get 5% or 7%. So those are really tough conversations to have. I've had to have them with our clients from time to time. And believe me, it's a lot easier to engage us from the beginning so we can work out the details and the number together. If all that checks out and it looks good and we can get the numbers to align, then it's time to proceed with an offer. And that's the exciting part. So you put your offer in, you wait, see if it's accepted, and then if it all makes sense and they accept it, we move into the next phase, which is during acquisition. This is what I really consider our true due diligence period. This is where we really get on site. We get to peel back the layers of the onion and we really get to dive deep into what's going on here. So before we go into this piece, I just want to see if there's any questions so far. No? Everybody still with me? Stretch it out a little bit.
Absolutely. We're still here. We're still here.
We're still
Okay,
here
good,
going
good.
strong.
So I know that, I'm talking pretty fast. I'm going through these slides, but, to me, just looking at a screen of slides is a little boring. Like I said, I like to have a conversation. I love it to be like we're sitting around, a bar or in our living room and we're talking about these things. And so this is a small snippet of what goes into acquiring an asset. And, again, the most important part of that is communication back and forth between you and your property management group. You've got to have that trust and reliability on each other to know that, okay, what you're trying to achieve, they can achieve, and vice versa. And where can we truly sharpen that pencil and make it work so that your investors gain even more out of the deal? So this is where we get to really, really, really hone in. Our due diligence period is, the most important period. It's typically 30 days from the date that you've submitted that offer and it's been accepted. Sometimes it can be less, sometimes it can be more, but we truly, strive for a 30-day mark. That's the typical timeline that we're looking at. Of course, at that time frame, we're going through lots and lots of reports. We're doing a complete analysis and overview of the asset, and then we do a takeover timeline with you. So the due diligence period, like I said, it's that 30-day timeline thereabouts from the time that you sign that offer, and it's been, it's like, okay, we'll accept that prelim offer. Now we get to go in. So what does that do for us as the property management team? This is where we get to really shine for you. We dig in so deep that hopefully if there is anything that's going to be of surprise on the asset, we are going to find it out during this time frame. We rely on different inspection reports and software that we use. One of our programs is HappyCo. I love it. It's very detailed. It allows us to really pinpoint anything specific that you're looking for. So maybe there's something very specific in the due diligence process when we're on site that you're like, I really want during this on-site inspection for you to get into the crawl spaces and into the attics and take pictures of every water heater because of the age of the asset. And we saw on their T12 that they had a ton of water heater replacements last year. So what are we looking at there and why are they doing so many replacements? And there could be a very logical answer for it. It could just be that it's that age and it's time to do it. Maybe they got a rebate and so they were able to go in and do a lot of them at one time. Those are the types of questions that we get the answers to for you. So we put on our little, inspector gadget hats and we get out there and we dig deep. So we try to complete an 100% file audit. Of course, I always strive for 100% unit walk. There's always going to be one or two apartments that we can't get into for one reason or another. But as long as the site doesn't have 10 all in one building, that would be, like, something's going on in that building over there. They're not letting us in there for a reason. So we look at things, that could be liability risk. We, of course, our HappyCo program and our on-site inspection forms are so detailed. Like I said, we can go from we can go as granular as you want. If this asset is 25 years old and maybe they've had 5 different levels of renovations over time with 5 different cabinet colors and countertop colors, we can truly pinpoint and detail that out so that at the end we can run an Excel and check it off so that you know exactly what you're getting when you're buying this asset. Again, we look at liability concerns. Are there hazards on the property? Are there things that are going to be of risk to us? Trip hazards, dead trees, anything like that that's going to potentially cost us and you money off the beginning. And then we give you all this reporting wrapped up in one with our recommendations to go back to the seller and say, these are our hard line items that need to be taken care of before we're willing to proceed with purchasing this asset. And a lot of times that's your negotiation period, what you're willing to give, what they're willing to give, you kind of go back and forth on, but we give you all of that detail on a very, very granular level so that you truly know that we've gone behind the walls, we've pulled the flooring back, we've looked in the attics, we've looked in the crawl spaces, we've checked out those pool pump rooms, and we've had part of our inspection team come. It's not just the folks from First Communities that go on site. We bring our general contractors, we bring our pool companies, we bring landscapers, we bring roofers come out and do an analysis of the roofs. A lot of times they'll fly the drones over for us and get pictures of all the roofs for us. And a lot of this stuff you need when you're doing your initial loan process as well. So a lot of that information we already have for you. So once, you know, we've set that up, you know, we typically take about a day per 100 units that we're inspecting. So most of our, you know, processes can go 1, 2, 3, 4 days, just depending on the size of the asset. There's nothing too small or too large that we won't look at for you. As a general rule of thumb is anything over 100 units makes sense for us as a management company to manage, but we will perform due diligences as well outside of us managing for you. So we can also do that. All right. So detailed analysis, areas of concerns, cost estimates for repairs, and then of course, adjusting our underwriting for that offer. So during that time frame, we are looking at those areas of concern, we're reporting back to you, but we're not just telling you, hey, these are areas of concern. We're giving you an estimated cost that you can build that into your underwriting, or that you can go back and say, okay, this is going to cost us about $500,000 to take care of. We want that, we want to negotiate and get that off of the price. And then that's where your negotiation skills come in when you're working that deal. Of course, that's where we truly adjust our underwriting. Maybe we had too much in the beginning. Maybe we budgeted $750,000 in CapEx, but after looking at it, we're like, wow, we're going to be able to do this for $400,000 or $500,000. And so you're able to shave that number down to really sharpen that pencil for that offer that you're giving. Any questions here?
Nope.
All right. So
I mean, we have some questions, but I was hoping that you could just take them all at the hand. If you want to take, yeah.
No, that's fine. We can do them at the end. That's absolutely fine, because I can flip back and forth, and then we can all be on the screen together again when we're doing.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, good. So of course, once that additional information is provided, and we've got those areas kind of drilled down on either concerns or, hey, this wasn't as bad as we thought when we were just estimating it, scratching the surface, then you go back, you adjust that underwriting, you adjust that offer, and it's time to go to the seller and say, okay, now really let's make a deal. You know, it's like that game show. Does anybody remember, you know, the let's make a deal, no whammies, no whammies. I always say that when we're going into a due diligence. I'm like, okay, guys, we're really going to look hard, but hopefully we don't find any whammies here. All right. Acquisition timeline. So this is where, you know, we truly hone in. So you're negotiating, and then your property management. This is what your property management is doing for you while you're in that negotiation phase on really making this deal come together. We're looking at staffing. We're putting out job ads. We're interviewing folks. We're getting them ready for day one of takeover. We're scheduling contractors so that we are ready for any capital projects that we want to complete within that first 90-day to 6-month window. We're getting them on the schedule. We're reviewing all the contracts that are currently in place on the asset. Which ones do we want to keep? Which ones do we have to assume? Are there any new contracts that they just entered into that they got an upfront door fee for, that we could say, hey, you know, they signed this contract 5 years ago, it's a 10-year contract, they got $500,000 for it, we get 50% of that. Or we tell you that you should get 50% of it, and then it's up to you to use that as a negotiation piece. Of course, we're working on the transfer of accounts. Setting everything up in the back end does take that around 30-day window. So all of your utility accounts, getting your bank accounts set up. While you're working on your loan process with the bank, sometimes they have a DACA account that's required. So we've got to connect our financial folks with them. And so it's all these moving pieces in the background, which makes it that much more of a reason to have a truly dedicated property management team. And then of course, we have an amazing marketing team through all of the marketing stuff, from building out your website, doing your collateral, redesigning every aspect of it. Maybe this is a property that we really like and it's got good bones. Maybe it's just got a negative reputation, but it's actually in a good area. So we can rebrand it. We've done that before. So our entire marketing team can do rebranding. They'll do, clubhouse remodel designs. Maybe there's designs that we want to get together to, add in a cardio spin room studio. We want to take that clubhouse feel and truly make it into something. So the marketing team is working on all of those things behind the scenes as well. All right, post-acquisition. This is where it gets really, really exciting. So your deal's been accepted. We've gone through due diligence. We've got everybody in place, ready to go. And then there's closing day. That's the most exciting day, of course. Then we've got our 30 to 90 day plan that we've got to roll out for you. And then how do we grow your portfolio looking into the future? So, of course, day of closing, again, is the most exciting day. We've gone through all this hard work. Maybe we've been looking at this deal for 6 months and we've gone back and forth and it's been on the table and off the table. And finally, it's ours. We can crack the champagne bottles and toast, and it's exciting. And of course, that day is very exciting because everybody's been building up to that day. And of course, I had to throw in our picture of our amazing guys here from XSITE. We just closed on the deal Land Bank Lofts in Columbia, South Carolina, and it was very, very exciting. That was one that we were super excited about. It was one that I got very excited about in the beginning when hey, you call.
She scared the hell out of me with that excitement.
They weren't so sure about this, and I was like, oh my gosh, this deal is amazing, and it truly is. And if you've not been there, and the guys will tell you, when they first came into the building for the first time, hopefully they felt the energy of that building. It's got so much character. It's probably going to go down in history as one of my favorites. Even when I'm long and retired, I will still talk about Land Bank Lofts because of the true character that this community exudes, and we're just going to take it to that next level. So I'm very, very, very excited about having this one. Now it's time to hit the ground running. So we've cheered, we've celebrated, we've had the big dinner, we've got everybody super excited. Now our investors are like, okay, the clock is ticking. What's happening? We've got to get, we've got to get our money coming back. So this is where we put together your 30 to 60, 90-day plan. Week one's the busiest week. That's when we are truly, firing off on all cylinders. We've got folks that are coming in, they're measuring, they're putting projects together. We're wanting to engage the residents because they're the most important piece in all of this. Without them, we don't collect money. So we've got to do our resident engagement piece. We've got to write your initial budget. And then of course, we've got to set those goals. And then of course, now it's time to grow your portfolio. So now it's time to look at your next asset and start this process all over again. And that is the exciting world of acquisitions, pre, during, and post. And hopefully you took something away from this. Hopefully you can see my enthusiasm that I truly, truly, truly love this side of it. I love maintaining and putting the teams together and letting them run with it. But this piece for me is probably the most exciting for me because I can truly see where we start and when I deliver it to the team to truly take it to its next level. All right, now do the questions.
As you all can tell, Lyla is on speed dial on our phones.
Yeah, so thank you so much, Lyla, for that wonderful presentation. I hope you all were tuned in and listening in and really taking some notes as she shared that gem with us. This presentation will be available to you, the video of it. Particularly if you are a part of our XSITE Investor Club. But most importantly, I can't wait to get some feedback. Please certainly let Lyla know what you think about the presentation in the chat. You can let us know. Great presentation, wonderful presentation. Thank you, Brandon Jenkins, for your feedback. Sharon, thank you. I think Jean was asking questions earlier. Lyla, what is the cash and cash number that gets you excited on a stabilized asset? Jane, I'm thinking you meant cash and cash by C over C and not credit card number.
Yes, that's correct. I'll take your credit card though.
Yeah, I mean, credit cards are great. I love plastic. But yeah, so for me, I think that any gain that I can get for an owner is a plus. But for me, when we truly hone in on those numbers and we build that underwriting, if we're building, say, to get a 7.5% or a 10% increase in year one, and I can knock it out with 15%, that's what I live for. And so I push my teams. I write realistic budgets. I've got some really big rock stars on my teams that truly just knock it out of the park. Caroline is one of them, and I'll sing her praises all day long because that girl, I don't know how she does it. I mean, she is killing it out there. And every time I turn around, she's like, I want to raise rents again. I want to raise rents again. And I'm like, let's do it. So for me, it's truly looking at that underwriting number compared to the market analysis. Does it make sense? Do I feel that it is achievable? Because none of us have that crystal ball to look into to say, okay, what are rents going to do? I mean, we've had this up and down economy over the past couple of years. None of us knew what COVID was going to do to the industry. And I mean, now we've got interest rates rising, we've got inflation, I mean, it's a roller coaster ride out there. However, I still believe in the world of multifamily investment more than anything else. I feel like putting money in a stock market is just like going to Vegas and gambling it away. This is something that you can truly see, even in the downturn. If you go back into history and look at the downturn that we took in 2008, folks still saw that this was a true investment that you could put your money into and truly gain something back out of it. Sometimes that's a short gain, sometimes it's a long hold and a long gain. It's all in what you're looking to get out of it. But I think for us on a stabilized asset, it's for me as the property management exceeding your expectations. Of course, I want to meet the goals, but I want to exceed them as well.
Thank you so much, Lyla, for that wonderful answer. There's a lot of feedback about how great of a presentation this is. Somebody even said they love your energy. And to Tyre, she brings that same energy to work, to our work. And we so much appreciate it. Braden has been very nice to put in Lyla's contact information if you need to ask additional questions even beyond this. That information is also shown on the screen. Also, there is a sign up link there for those that are interested in joining the XSITE Investment Club, where you get a first chance to take a look at all of our deals as they come. Also, you get communications from us on a regular basis to pretty much educate you about the world of multifamily and real estate in general, and the world of personal development, because we do believe that the journey to growing your wealth starts with growing your mind, as my dear friend Leslie Awesome would say. So, moving on, does anyone have any questions? We're right about 6:50 right now. And
I had a question real quick.
Please go ahead, please.
Right.
Yeah, so I wanted to say, like, what do you think separates your property management company from others? Because oftentimes when you look at a property management site, it may be hard to distinguish like a good one from a bad one.
Fantastic.
Absolutely. That's an excellent question. Of course, I'm going to, sing the praises of First Communities, but I'll tell you, I think one of the things that we can show our partners is that we have such a huge group of tenured employees. We are truly grounded in our foundation as a company. Our core values really mean something to us. They aren't just words on our website. They're not just words on, our mouse pads and stuff. We truly believe it, and we live it every day. For us, again, like the tenured people that we have, I mean, I've been with the company 17 years, and that's a drop in the bucket. We've got folks that have been with us since the late 70s. When we first were established, and they're still with us. Growing inside our company is also something that we value and pride ourselves in. I started as a part-time leasing consultant 17 years ago, and I've grown to regional vice president of the Carolinas with the company. That truly says something about our leadership that we have. My C-class, our C-suite folks, John Nixon, Kevin Carr, and Mitch Harrison are phenomenal. They truly care about each and every one of us as employees. So I think that that resonates with our clients as well. They see that our team members want to be there. They want to be part of our culture. And then some other things in the background. We have some unique differences between other management companies. Our regional teams are boots on the ground. They don't sit in a cubicle or in an office 4 or 5 days a week. They're allowed one office day a week. The other 4 days a week, they are out visiting the sites. They are on site with their teams, working with them, training with them, spending time with them, developing them, culturing them, and truly connecting not only with our on-site teams, but also our clients. We've got a huge support staff behind the scenes, and there's not an extra charge for that. We don't charge extra for our, accounting department and our regional support specialist. And those are, we have what we call RAs, or regional assistants, and each regional manager has a specific assigned regional support specialist. And what they do is they handle that admin stuff behind the scenes so that our regional managers can be boots on the ground. So for me, I think it's just our leadership and our dynamic and structure, especially when it comes to our support staff behind the scenes at the corporate office.
Thank you so much.
Just to follow up to that, like what a lot of guys over here are operators and looking for property management companies as well. Like, what are some of the red flags that they should look out for when they're vetting property management companies?
Yeah, so I would say definitely, do your research. There are all kinds of reports from a national apartment association level all the way down to a local level. Look on, look what their employees are saying about them. Read their reviews. Of course, just like our reviews on site, you're going to get those ones that are like wackadoodle, and you can kind of pull them out, and that by just reading them. But truly listen to what they say. When you're interviewing your property management group, ask them about their support services behind the scenes. How many properties or assets do they give one regional? Do they have an extra layer of support at their corporate office in means of like a personal assistant? What does their accounting team look like? How deep is that compared to the number of units that they manage? How long have they been in the business? Do your referral checks. We preach this all the time on site to our managers when they are hiring a team member. Do those referral checks. Every management company should provide you with a list of referrals. Those are folks that are truly going to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly, what they love about us and what they hate about us. And I'm sure there are things that we can always improve upon. We didn't become 50,000 units overnight. So there were times where we went through growing pains and growing challenges. And there's been things that we've changed along the way from, softwares that we use. We've always been a Yardi product company, but behind the scenes, other softwares that we've used with vetting different payable systems and compliance systems and stuff like that. And there's been some things along the way that I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah, it was a challenge, but we grew through it together and we came out better on the other end because we vetted multiple companies at one time.
That's fantastic.
And if I may add real quick, if you don't mind, one other thing that I observe that could be a red flag is responsiveness from a property management company. Before we decided to go all in with First Communities, we've had an opportunity to interview several property management companies. Some are rated top property management company. But when you try to reach out to somebody from this company to have a conversation and for them to help you come out and look at deals or help you review your deals, they don't respond to you at all. And they're not willing to take you from zero to hero. They're looking for people that are already established, that have money, and that they feel like they can serve more. and they neglect a lot of the people that are just starting. So that's one thing I respect about First Community. They don't look at you where your journey is or wherever you're doing. If they see that you're serious and you want to do something, they pay you attention like their other big clients that they already have. That's one of the things I want to add in there real quick.
Awesome.
Thank you, Tenny.
We have Lyla for about 4 more minutes. And so Jane just asked the question, playing devil's advocate, have you had to turn away business? And what are 3 to 5 KPIs that you look for to tell you if a stabilized asset is risky to manage?
Okay, so yes, we don't take everything that is brought to our table. While I want to say yes, we are strictly third parties, so we need the business. There are certain red flags that definitely are out there for us. If it is going to be a liability from the beginning for us as a management company, and we know it is for you as a client, we're going to steer away from it. That doesn't mean that we don't take some of the rough deals that we know can be turned around. We do that. We are working with a client right now, and we've assigned them a specialized team for doing just that. But we've got to know, and we've got to have that trust has to go both ways. You have to trust us, but we have to trust you as well. And there are going to be cases where we vet you just as much as you vet us as a management company. We're vetting you as a client for us, because at the end of the day, this has to be that partnership. And if we can't communicate with each other from the beginning and have that honesty and trust with each other, then that's a red flag for me off the bat. If I ask you a question and you skirt it, or you don't want to give me the direct information, it's going to make me wonder why. We also do our research. Even if you are a new company, that's fine, but we're going to do our research. And for us, it's just as much of a risk as you're taking on us that we're taking on you. Mm-hmm. I think for that, about the only thing that we really look at, because of all of the software programs that we use and our payroll system and our accounting system and everything in the background with our different departments, for us, we do have to have at least 100 units to start managing for you. Anything less than 100 units, honestly, it just doesn't make sense on paper for you. I will still do it, but you're going to pay a lot more for our services when it's less than 100 units. Your cost per unit just really is not going to pencil out very well for you, and we want you to make money.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Lyla. I think with that, we can certainly say that you've shared a lot of gems with us, as promised in the beginning of this. That presentation is one that we and everybody on this should go back and review, because you do talk fairly fast, and sometimes some of those fantastic points that you're making that goes by without you fully realizing the impact of it. So we once again want to say thank you for being Lyla and being just a force of nature as you are. And we appreciate you dearly. We really thank you for everything that you've done for XSITE Capital, that you continue to do for XSITE Capital. And we look forward to the prospects of working very closely with you for a long time. And, we've got a couple of deals in the pipeline, as you all know, and we look forward to hopefully closing another one really soon with you. All right.
Very excited, and you're stuck with me for life now. So it truly was my pleasure to do this and connect with all of you tonight. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. I know I covered a lot in a short amount of time. I tried to stay on schedule.
Thank you so much, Lyla. And now we're going right into the networking phase of this meetup. Lyla, you're certainly free to leave if you need to. If you want to join us, please join us too. I have no problems with that. But this is when I usually invite everyone to come on video if you can, and just introduce yourself, introduce your outfit, company, let us kind of get to know about you, and if there's any particular thing that you want to share with the group, we would love to know. And if there's any value that we can share with you, we will. Please do not forget to, if you are interested in some of this, this material that we're sharing with you, some of this knowledge that we're sharing with you, please join us at the XSITE Investor Club. You could just go to XSITEcapital.com, or you could just click the link that Braden is dropping in the chat. And with that, you will be able to access all of our platform and really be the first to know about everything going on with us. And shameless plug, if you ever in the Charlotte area and in between June 23 and 25, I will be speaking at the MFIN conference, which is put together by the Dan Anfort's group. And celebrity speakers will be Shaq O'Neal and Barbara Cochran from Shark Tank. Please join us. It would be a great opportunity to see some of your faces in person if you're able to make that. So going right into it, Abidin, I think you're right on the screen. Do you want to start it off with some introductions?
Yeah, I can do that. That's cool.
Go for it, man.
So I actually met Leslie back in January. So I've known her for some time now. So I'm a sophomore at the University of Maryland, College Park, majoring in finance. And I'm also a commercial broker with Long & Foster. I've been doing that for about 10 months now, with a specialization in investment sales. And so, I've been attending the XSITE Underwriting classes on Tuesdays, because I'm looking to get into multifamily syndication as well. Just trying to get a head start while I'm in college, and then proceed with that after I graduate. So, just doing a lot of things: school, investing, brokerage, just trying to get my feet wet.
That is amazing, man. I wish I was as dynamic as you are now. When I was in undergrad, I definitely did not know my left from my right at that point, and I commend you for being this incredible, this young in your career. That's amazing. And please stick around us. We'll be more than happy to share as much value as we can with you to make sure that you are super successful in your journey. I see Rod came on video. Rod, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. So I was invited to join you all with from Leslie, and so enjoyed the presentation. And I only have a couple minutes left before I need to take off, but I'm excited to kind of learn a little more about what you guys are doing. Beautiful,
beautiful. I love the sound of it. Thank you so much, Rod. Really appreciate it. Welcome to our platform, and certainly stick around and continue to come back as much as you can. We love meeting you and sharing whatever we can with you to grow your mind, grow your wealth, and certainly learn from you too, because there's a lot that we can all learn from each other.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I was actually referred to you all from Jerome Myers. So
that's amazing. That's awesome.
Jerome is an amazing person. He's a tremendous guy.
He's a force of nature, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Jerome is a great friend of the team. It's fantastic. Are there any other people who want to come on and introduce themselves? There are a lot of awesome names, some familiar, some new. Gene, do you want to introduce? You don't need to come on video at this point.
Hey guys, I can't come on video. I'm actually
it's okay. No worries.
I'm in a skiff, so yeah. But you guys there?
Yeah, we are.
Okay,
we are.
The brother was watching me. But yeah, no. So I'm in the DMV area, and to your point earlier with Abidin, yeah, man. Yeah, I have 2 left feet when I was in college. So yeah, you're on your way. So yeah, good job there, buddy. So yeah, no, I'm a local IT guy, investor on the side. You guys know me. I know you guys. Really proud of you guys, how far you've gotten. Congratulations on your deals. Yeah, so most of my deals have been in the DMV area, onesie, twosies, small multifamilies, refinancing, pulling out a ton of equity and looking to reinvest that. So, so looking for the right deal to put my money in that makes sense. And just a stabilized number driven kind of guy.
I love it. I love the sound of it, and hopefully we'll be able to present some assets to you soon that will pique your interest. So
Our goals is to find that asset that you're gonna be excited about.
Yeah, I mean, yep. Hey, you know my numbers. Yep.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Anyone else who wants to introduce the Dr. Audley Mackel? He was a friend of the team. Has always been a great supporter, and certainly a personal inspiration and mentor. As an orthopedic surgeon, I look up to him and I stand on his shoulders, and the shoulder of other mentors. So Dr. Audley Mackel.
Thank you, Julius. I trying to get paperwork done like you are probably doing this time of day, but it was a great presentation. I'm really starting to understand more and more how this happens. It's just not what you and your team does, but who your team brings in to develop a syndication, but also how you deal with property. So I really thank you for the education. It's been quite eye-opening. Appreciate it.
So thank you so much. Yeah, I have to admit, First Communities is a great and integral part of our success, because we involve them in these deals from the beginning, from the point of underwriting all the way through, obviously, even post acquisition and post disposal. I mean, we really work closely with them, and we feel very fortunate to have such a dynamic team to work with, particularly with Lyla at the lead. So,
and just to add to that, Dr. Oni, this is one of the great things about multifamily real estate, because the properties produce enough income to hire a professional team such as First Communities that is 100% dedicated to third-party management. And having people like that on your side, they fill up all the blind spots that you have. And as a business owner, now you got to sit back and then manage your team to deliver the returns that you're looking for your investors. So this is one of the great things about multifamily investing that we really love, especially when you start going after the larger assets. So hire the right team. The property itself has enough revenue to pay for that team. So they're a great partner in the journey for sure.
Awesome. And yeah, great comments. Dr. Mackel and Leslie, thank you. Really appreciate it. I'm gonna pick a couple of people. Bao is one of the duos that we've collaborated with, and that we currently just acquired our most recent property with. Is one half of a dynamic duo that are just amazing. Bao, are you able to make a few comments? I'm not sure. Oh,
hey, hi. Yeah, thank you for putting me on. XSITE Capital is great partners, and really love working with them, and really great group of guys.
Thank you so much, Bao. And we're glad you're definitely here, and we certainly look forward to taking down a lot more deals with you for sure. Yeah,
definitely.
Great. So Alina, it's good to see you again. How are you? I think she's maybe away from her phone. Is there anybody else who wants to chit chat, talk a little bit? Any questions that you have for us? Not even necessarily related to tonight's presentation, but just about anything XSITE Capital. If you're wondering about, just how we go about any part of the business.
Is Lyla just a property manager who does the asset management?
So Leslie actually spearheads our asset management process, but literally what XSITE Capital does is we manage the managers, if that makes sense.
It does. Okay.
Yeah. So Lyla and her team, which is a lot of people, do the day-to-day management, and we do weekly asset management calls with them, and even sometimes have to do multiple calls if needed. But that's how we essentially give them metrics to hit, KPIs, and then we follow those metrics because we know exactly where our goal is. And we know we've broken that down, we've reversed engineering it to weekly, daily, monthly goals. And so we're able to essentially keep them on track. And sometimes they're hitting those out of the park. And sometimes they're a little behind, and we figure out why they're a little behind, and we provide the resources to get them right on track. So this is kind of like the way it works.
And I'll follow up on your question on cash, Gene. So the way we work with them is we underwrite, then project the cash on cash that we know will work for our investor community. And then we present the underwriting to them and say, this is our projections. And they'll come back and tell us, okay, this makes sense. We can hit that easily. Or you could be actually more pushful on this side. So, okay, at that point, we know we have a good deal. Or we might present our underwriting to them and they're like, guys, this is too aggressive. I won't do that with this property. Then we know, okay, this is not one that's going to hit those projections for us. So we set the pace on the cash on cash that we want, that we know works with our investor community. And they let us know if that makes sense or that doesn't make sense.
Roger that. Okay, thanks for explaining that.
Thanks, Jane. And one of the secrets to XSITE Capital's continued growth and incredible trajectory over the last 2 years, but particularly over the last year, is that we have an incredible team. And one of the key members of that team is actually Braden A.
Hey, everybody.
and Braden is literally like kind of like the guy that keeps everything going and keeps us all on track. And deals with the acquisition side, the investor relations side, and if you ever sign up for our investors club, you will get to interact with Braden significantly.
Yes, sir.
He is a force of nature. And Braden, I just want you to make a few comments if you need to. Maybe let the folks know who you are.
Yeah, it's nice to see as many of you that can come on camera as possible. I'm born and raised in Ohio, and I met these guys a little under a year ago. So it's been my foray into real estate, and my favorite part is talking to people in our community like you guys. So thank you all so much for attending this evening.
Fantastic. Kailea, are you still there? You want to chat with us? Kailea is another one of our team members that we brought on as part of the Department of Defense Skills Bridge program. She's jumped right on and it's just become a very integral part of the team and really helping us significantly with our acquisitions and deal flow process. Kailea, are you there?
Hi, everyone. Yes, I'm here. So as already mentioned, I am actually active duty military currently, and I am coming to the end of my contract. So I was lucky enough to be afforded the opportunity to be a part of this Skill Bridge program, which is an apprenticeship. And I came across the XSITE Capital team, and once again, was lucky enough that they brought me on. So I've just been a part of the team for actually just about a month, actually. But I'm excited to be here and excited to see all the new skills and opportunities that are ahead for us here.
Thank you. Actually, I think we are the lucky ones to have you, Kailea. Thank you so much again for those comments. And for others, I think we have a few more minutes. Larry, Patrick, Nay, Yinka, John, if any one of you wants to make a comment, please feel free to unmute and make a comment. And anyone else, this is an opportunity for us to get to know each other. It's always nice to, oh, Nay, go for it.
Thank you very much, Dr. Oni. My name is Nay Adefor, and I was linked into XSITE Capital by Leslie Awasum, and I'm very privileged to join you guys. This is my third session, and I must confess that the very first session I attended, I was literally like a fish out of water. I could not understand anything that was being said. But fast forward, this is the third session, and I did a few research of my own, and I'm now beginning to understand the language. So I look forward to attending more of these sessions because my goal is to get educated in multifamily I'm very interested in starting my own small business in that aspect. I'm already in real estate, but more on trying to do the developing aspect of it. But I'm curious to find out what multifamily can bring to me. So I look forward to learning a whole lot from this team, and thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Nay. It warms my heart anytime I hear that people are starting to understand the lingo of multifamily. Trust me, when I first started too, it was like a complete different language, and it took a while of a lot of reading, a lot of podcasts, a lot of learning from my partners, Leslie and Tenny, to finally be able to speak the language. But yeah, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. You've taken the first, second, third, and more steps, and you're sure to be successful. So in whatever way that we can contribute to your success, please let us know. Thank you. Excellent. Well, I don't want to force people to talk if they don't want to talk. So
okay, you got one. You got one
hey,
from
great,
Denver.
great, Yinka, go for it.
Yeah, this is Ola.
Ola, okay, great.
Go by Ola from Denver.
Awesome.
You know, it's really been a blessing to get to know you through your friend and the books you recommended. So beneficial to me. Basically, I carry multiple portfolios in different directions, but I'll be more in commercial. So want to dabble into multi-family deals. So I've been attending the underwriting classes. So it's really brought a lot of insight to me. So I'm looking forward to when one of the multi-family deals can be done. But I enjoyed the presentation today. So it's good material, good presentation. So what you guys are doing are great, bringing knowledge to people.
Thank you so much, Yinka. I'm Ola. For some reason, I keep calling you Yinka, but it's like, I really appreciate it, Yinka. I mean, Ola.
Yeah, I mean, okay, Yinka, it's fine.
Yeah, so Ola is a really great friend of a great friend of mine, who also is Ola, right? And we've gotten to know each other a little bit, and I'm glad you're starting to learn a little bit of the lingo also, particularly in the underwriting classes. You've already accomplished so much from what I learned about you. And I think the journey is just getting started. We're certainly going to be able to collaborate on a lot of things moving forward. No questions about it. And I look forward to being able to present that deal that's going to get you excited real soon. Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, and hopefully we could collaborate on some things in Colorado if they work out eventually in the future.
Yeah.
Awesome, great. Any other person want to chat? Oh, awesome. Well, I think with that, I will call it. I will give you about 10 to 11 minutes of your life back. We know how important your time is. You could be anywhere else in the world, but you're here with us. We truly appreciate you. We don't take it for granted. And we look forward to seeing you again in future meetups and interacting with you, collaborating with you, growing your mind and growing your wealth and learning from you. So look forward to seeing you next month. Remember, first Monday of every month, we will always be here to share some knowledge with you. Thank you, everybody. Have a beautiful night.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.